Willpower is the most overrated trait in self-improvement. You've been told that successful people simply have more of it, more grit, more discipline, more mental toughness. But that's not true, and believing it is actually what keeps you stuck. Willpower isn't a personality trait, it's a limited resource, and once you understand how it actually works, you'll stop blaming yourself for running out of it. Here's what's really happening. Every decision you make throughout the day draws from the same mental battery. What to wear, what to eat, whether to answer that message, whether to open social media, whether to start that task you've been avoiding. Each one drains a little more from the same tank. By the time evening comes, that tank is nearly empty, which is exactly why your discipline collapses at night. Not because you're weak, but because you've been making withdrawals all day with nothing left to give. This is why successful people don't actually have more willpower than you. They've simply learned to spend less of it. They remove decisions instead of trying to power through them. And once you see this, the entire framework of self-improvement changes. The goal was never to build more willpower. The goal is to need less of it. So how do you actually do that? The first shift is reducing decision points. Every time you leave something up for debate, whether to work out today, whether to eat healthy, whether to write, you're spending willpower just deciding. Successful people remove the debate entirely by making decisions in advance. They decide once, the night before, or the week before, and then they simply execute. No negotiation required in the moment. The second shift is lowering the activation energy of good behavior. Willpower fails hardest at the starting line, not in the middle of an action. If your workout clothes are in a drawer across the room, that's friction. And friction is where willpower dies. But if your clothes are already laid out, your book is already open on the desk, your notebook already out, you've removed the moment where willpower would be needed at all. The third shift is raising the activation energy of bad behavior. The same principle works in reverse. If you want to scroll less, log out of the app so there's a login screen between you and the temptation. If you want to snack less, don't buy the snacks in the first place. Small pieces of friction are often enough to stop a habit before it starts, because most bad habits are driven by convenience, not desire. The fourth shift is understanding willpower has a schedule, not an unlimited well. Most people try to do their hardest, most important task at night, exactly when their willpower tank is empty. But if you do your hardest task first, right after waking up, when your mental battery is fullest, it takes a fraction of the effort compared to trying to force yourself into it at 9 p.m. The fifth shift is treating rest as part of the system, not a reward for using it correctly. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you tired, it directly damages your capacity for self-control the next day. Studies on decision fatigue consistently show that under-rested people give in to temptation far more easily, not because they care less, but because the very system that resists temptation runs on rest. Here's the real takeaway. If you've ever felt weak for failing to stick to a habit, understand this. You were never lacking willpower. You were relying on a resource that runs out for everyone, every single day, no exceptions. The people who seem disciplined aren't running on more willpower than you. They're running on systems that require less of it. Remove decisions in advance, lower the friction on good behavior, raise the friction on bad behavior, front-load your hardest task, and protect your sleep like it's part of the discipline itself, because it is. Willpower was never the answer. Structure was. Subscribe for more habit science that actually works.